he is great at tackling in the open space, especially
Certainly.
Ivan Pace Jr. Blake Cashman, he's a good leader up on that defense, and you look for him to still bring his leadership role. What's your take on Jeff Aduka though, the cornerback?
Yeah, Jeff Okuda. There is a big cornerback battle here. Obviously, you bring in Isaiah Rodgers to be a starting cornerback. He was from the Eagles, so he obviously saw what it takes to win in the playoffs, and that's something that is going to be invaluable experience on this Vikings defense. But looking at the second cornerback spot, I think there's a lot of questions of who could end up starting there. You have some options and guys like Byron Murphy who will be starting somewhere, maybe in a nickel position, maybe in a cornerback position. He'll see the field. Who else does Jeff Okuda get some run? Does Makai Blackman, who missed the season last year with an ACL issue, does he get back the starting role? I think that's an undecided question. I do have some concerns about the depth in the cornerback room. That is something that I want to see if we can get that figured out.
Yeah, for sure. I really like Byron Murphy Jr. To me, Byron Murphy Jr. He's a
Yeah.
guy that can. He's a really good covering CB. He can get the interceptions. He can get the plays. He can get the tackles. I'm pretty big on Byron Murphy Jr.
Yeah, I think he could have another fairly solid year. And of course, the safety room, Harrison Smith, what can you say about him? The seasoned veteran, winding down what is very likely a Hall of Fame career. So you'd love to see him go out with one more high level season before he hangs it up. So this feels like kind of a last ride for Harrison Smith. So he's had a great career out of Notre Dame, of course. So can he put together one more year? I think that's a big question in the safety room.
Yeah, Harrison Smith, who could have made a better college choice, in my opinion.
Hmm.
Um,
So
yeah,
yeah,
Harrison Smith is a tremendous safety, and yes, when it's all said and done, Tad, I have no doubt he can be a Hall of Famer and be regarded as one of the more talked about safeties in NFL history for sure, especially in Vikings history.
yes. And also Josh Metellus, he's listed as a safety, but he can play many positions. He's very versatile, and that's a big asset to the defense. If you look at the snap count, he played 52, 512 in the box, 330 in snap and slot CB. So he can play pretty much any position, and that's obviously a big asset. But one big question for the Vikings is what do they get out of the defensive line after trading Harrison Phillips earlier this week? So to me, this tells me that they trust some of the younger players. Obviously, you also bring in Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave. That's big improvements there. But to me, at the nose tackle spot, this tells me that you trust your depth. You trust Jalen Redmond, the third year player there. You trust your draft pick, Tyron Ingram Dawkins. You trust him to come in out of Georgia and be an immediate contributor. You trust Gabriel Murphy in his second year. So, some very interesting decisions there. Gabriel Murphy, of course, out of UCLA. I think that's going to be very interesting to see what this defensive line looks like